And it is such a pleasure to be here tonight. Thank you all so much for coming and supporting this great project and these really talented artists. This program is part of a larger program called our Community Engagement Initiative. And this is actually the third time that a visiting artist has worked with youth from our community to create a project. But I have to say that this project, I really think, is the most ambitious one that we've done to date. This project essentially highlights the tag team members' perspectives on the community that we all live and work in. And they've created a series of public artworks that it's illustrated in these displays around the room, and it's been just so great to go around and talk to some of you about your work. They worked with the artist Jan Tichy. I also want to say that it's been so great to collaborate once again with the Amistad.
I want to congratulate our tag members on the amazing accomplishment that is Lighten Up, a public art project. This is the perfect blend of culture-based education, community service, and individual and team creativity and achievement. And it's a perfect example of what we are trying to do with our teen advisory group. Very few teenagers had the opportunity to witness and experience up close and personally the brilliance of an internationally acclaimed artist. Very few teenagers had the opportunity to make a major museum their home away from home. Very few teenagers had the opportunity to showcase their talent and share their views with the entire community.
While exploring the history of the museum and its collections, I was introduced to Olivia White, the director of Amistad Center for Culture and Art, and I found the story of the foundation very interesting and intriguing, and they found some of my previous projects interesting and relevant for what they are doing, and I came with 3 proposals that I presented to the teenagers, and they wanted to do public art. They wanted to do public art, and they wanted to do something with light.
One of our tag members, she's not here with us tonight, but this is her field of love and acceptance. And inside each bag is a message of love and acceptance selected by the tag members. So we invite you each to pick one up and hold it and take it with you as we get on the bus and as you continue tonight. If someone's not here,
I got one. I got
take 3.
Yes, let me open it right up here.
Take the light, take the rock, take the message.
That's a nice one, huh?
Yeah. Well, this piece is called It Could Have Been Me, and it's our kind of moral for Trayvon Martin. The reason why we chose It Could Have Been Me as the title for this project is because at any point it could have been either of us. We're all young teenagers, all black teens, or any teen of any age or race. This all could have happened to any of them. It projects a heart monitor-like image that shows Trayvon at the most delicate time of his life, right before he's about to die. As it slowly shows him excited, anxious, as he's being approached by Zimmerman.
I got involved with TAG because it was just something to keep me off the streets that my sister had brought an application to me, so I filled it out.
Well, we were looking at locations and we drove past this cement pedestal, and I thought it was kind of interesting. It caught my eye and I was like, oh, I wonder what used to be there. So I did some research at the Hartford History Center, and I found out that it was called Aaron Fine Square, and then through a little bit more research I found out about the honor roll that used to live there.
We wanted to have something here to commemorate the honor roll. It's kind of like the ghost of the honor roll that used to be here, and we decided to go with the red, white, and blue to keep with the, World War II patriotic theme.
drive by and just see it.
Yeah.
It's very ghostly.
We haven't seen it
Yeah.
installed yet, so this is kind of cool.
Oh, that's great.
So this was done by Armani Pimienta, and what she wanted to do was to capture some scenes and people from Albany Avenue and to put them in this new building, which is the new library. So preserving the history of Albany Avenue while celebrating the things that are new and great and changing in the community. And so during the day the pictures are particularly visible, and then at night they illuminate like this with blues and reds.
Our project, the one that we did, were in St. Francis Hospital because when I went in for testing last year and I got sick, I found that a lot of the things that you see in the hospital were intimidating. So in a way to kind of make it less scary, we decided to put them in different shapes that you wouldn't normally recognize them as hospital equipment, but when you did, it wouldn't seem as scary. So we have one that looks almost like a group of flowers, and the other one that looks almost like a sea anemone type underground water thing. And by doing that, we're hoping that will make people feel a bit more comfortable going in than they normally would.
My public art project is on Lydia, Huntley, Sigourney, and I picked her. Well, I didn't pick her actually. I guess I can say she chose me because I wasn't going to really talk about her until I figured out that the park that I'm doing, Sigourney Park, is named after her. So once I found that out and I realized that she was also a famous poet and a famous writer, I kind of thought of picking up bottles, which is basically some of the stuff that you would find if you go to Sigourney Park laying on the ground. So I picked up some bottles, plastic bottles, and I thought maybe I can put some of her poems inside the bottles and decorate it and then hang them up from trees so that it could look like a hanging garden of Lydia's poems and people can walk around and actually be able to read her poems.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Congratulations. It's so beautiful.
Well, today I chose a cemetery site for my project, and basically is words VIP, RIP, so to represent like that people should treat the cemetery with more respect and things, because there's very honorable people inside the cemetery, so that's why. I wanted to give a sense of environmental value to the people of Hartford, because the people inside of the cemetery, they contributed to Hartford in major ways. So I wanted people to see the cemetery and honor it and respect it.
Decided to do a project on the Old North Cemetery, and basically it's about installing lights that on a graveyard older than most people never seem to notice or take time to look at the tomb. And also the dove that we drew represent freedom and how the graveyards are not always what they seem like in movies. And also I want to show you how it can represent freedom and release to the world, basically.
Northwest School was something that I found very interesting from the very beginning, as sort of important building in historical transition, and something that had a lot of history, even related to us. Two of our members, their grandparents were students in the high school, one white, one black. And I felt like that's really a relevant place to be in dialogue with, since on one hand it's a very important part of Hartford history, on the other it's sort of closed and off the street and dark and you can't really know what's there. I didn't want to create a sculpture or something like this, but just to light up the building to get attention. And there are sort of two very significant features. There are these stripes that I felt like could be brought up, as well as the arch of the entrance. And so I decided basically just to light up these features and the face, the facade of the building. And unlike with my other projects, I decided to work with very simple and very soft sort of rethink light.
As Jan explained to the tag team members, public art is really a gift to the community. And again, you have given the community a tremendous gift by taking your talent and your gifts and translating them into works of public art.
The bar was set high, and you reached for the stars, and pardon the mixed metaphor. Job well done, and please join me in applauding.